Hi, my name is Attorney Brian Cimino, and I want to talk about why it takes so long to get a Board of Appeal hearing. The Board of Appeal is a separate agency from the registry. So the Board of Appeal is not a division of the registry or any part of the registry. It's a totally separate state agency. And that board has the authority to reverse, modify, or annul any decision of the registry. So if the registry has suspended your license, if they've denied you reinstatement, the Board of Appeal has the legal authority to overrule that denial and to order the registry to allow you to get your license reinstated. And I understand what you go through. Every time I start my car, when I go to pick up my kids or bring my kids to school or drive to my office or go do errands, I think of my clients and the pain and suffering that they go through every day without a license. And I know a day without a license must seem like an eternity. I hear the horror stories. Parents having to wake up their young children at 5 o'clock in the morning so that the person with a license can drive the person without a license to work. People who are paying a fortune in Uber and Lyft and transportation costs. People who have lost their job. People who have been late for work. People who are experiencing extreme financial hardships because of lack of a license. So I understand that. And the Board of Appeal understands that too. They hear the cases like I do. They hear what people go through. The woman who does the scheduling for the Board of Appeal, the appeals coordinator, she understands it. It bothers her that it takes so long. This board is really working as fast as they possibly can. And I know that because I'm in front of them almost every day of the week, usually with a bunch of cases. So I see the volume of work that they do. I see the decisions that come out, and I know that they're operating at maximum capacity. This isn't a COVID issue. This isn't a pandemic issue. It has nothing to do with that. It's the simple fact that it's supply and demand. The registry is suspending licenses by the thousands. The Board of Appeal is doing the best they can to address these suspensions, but there's only one Board of Appeal, and everybody wants their day in court. People ask about, I need an expedited hearing. There's no such thing as an expedited hearing. What happens is you file your appeal, you confirm that the board received it, and then you wait until you get a hearing date. And when the board's ready to hear the case, they'll issue a hearing notice. It doesn't make sense to call or email the board or to try to contact them to find out where you are on the line. There's no tracking system. It's not like Domino's when you can order the pizza and you can see when it's being made, when it's being put in the oven, when it's being checked for quality, and when it's ready, and you can look it up on that progress bar. It doesn't work like that at the Board of Appeal. There's not a tracking system. When you file your appeal, you can check to see that the board deposited your check. That lets you know that the appeal has been received, and then you just have to wait until you get a hearing notice. So that's the way the system works. The board does prioritize hearings based on the type of suspension. If it's a short suspension, that will get heard before a long suspension. So if it's a 180-day suspension, for example, for say license fraud, or a 90-day suspension for speeding, for example, those cases are going to get heard before, say, a 10-year suspension for an ignition interlock violation or an indefinite suspension for immediate threat. The shorter suspensions will get heard first. Again, the board is working at maximum capacity. I'm in front of them every day. I see the volume of work that they do. And the way the system works is I file the appeal. I confirm with the board that they've received it and that it's in the pipeline to be scheduled. And then the next communication that I get from them is the hearing notice. It doesn't make sense for me to bother them to look things up because there's really no way to tell when that hearing notice is going to get issued. I hope this helps you understand a little better how the system works. It's not a perfect system, but it's the best system that we have. And sort of the bottleneck in this system is the fact that the registry is issuing suspensions by the thousands, and the only place to go is the Board of Appeal. And it's just a question of supply and demand and having to wait until we get that hearing notice for when the board's ready to hear the case.